Hello, everyone. How are you? I am so excited that you are here for another happily married funny story. And I have a very special guest that's joining me. It is my handsome son, Andrew. And since this funny story centers on him, I thought it would be good for him to join and help me share it. Plus, I'm going to ask him some juicy questions. It's the kind of questions that most young men try to avoid having with their mothers. So, you definitely want to stick around for that. And as you can see, I am wearing one of my happily married t shirts. We have happily married t shirts and mugs. And I am encouraging all happy couples out there to share your joy and inspire others with everything that is going on in the world today. Many people will thank you for the inspiration. Plus, it gives you a chance to share your story. So check out our items on our website. The information is in our comment section below. And make sure you click the subscribe button and the bell indicator so that you can be notified of when I upload new videos. I'm getting ready to come out with a new music video within the next week. So I definitely want you to not miss that. Plus, we are going to be giving away free t-shirts and mugs. All I need you to do is just put your comments in the comment below. If you can just tell us how long have you and your significant other been together. My grandparents were married for over 60 years. And I know couples today who have been married for 30, 40, 50 years, and they are more in love today than they were when they first got married. As a matter of fact, my husband, we're right in the middle of celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary. And so we always do something special. It's been kind of, a little strained because of COVID. But 2 years ago, we went to Rome, Italy, and to Venice, and just spending time away, thanking God for the opportunity that to just celebrate one another. So tell us how long you've been with your significant other, and then that way you are entering to receive a free t-shirt or a free mug, and we'll notify you to get your contact information and let you know. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get to the funny story. Okay, everybody. So I'm here with my son, Andrew, who is now 24 years old, but I call him Mr. Congeniality because Andrew has a lot of friends. He has always had a lot of friends from the moment that he was able to talk. People were just drawn to him. And I remember when we lived in our own neighborhood, he was maybe about 4, and he and I, we were sitting out on the front porch. And one of the young boys, he was maybe about 19 or 20, came driving by in his car. And, so he's like yelling out the window, "Hey, Andrew," my son was 4. And I was like, "Wow, do you know him?" And so he says, "Yeah, that's our neighbor. He lives down the street about 3 or 4 houses on the corner." And I was like, "Wow, that already he knew who he was." And, like how did all that happen? But people are just drawn to Andrew, and no matter who it is, they just really like him. All right, so what do you remember about this story? I know that you were young at the time, and you probably have heard me tell that story numerous times. Do you remember anything?
No, not necessarily, but I do remember making a lot of friends when we used to live in Mount Rainier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do remember being around the block a lot.
Okay. Since the time that he was maybe 1 year old. He was so quiet. Something happened to him after he turned one. He literally became Bam Bam from from the Flintstones. I mean, I'm sure I might be dating myself, but for all of us who are quite familiar with the Flintstones, Bam Bam was the Fred and Wilma's little son, and so he was just so rough. He was always playing and running and jumping. And when he was about 2 years old at this time, and it was cold out, and I said, well, I need to get him out the house, so I'm going to take him to the mall. They had a really nice indoor playground for just that occasion. Getting a toddler dressed is, quite a feat. All of parents out there know exactly what I'm talking about. When they're infants, not bad, but getting a toddler dressed is a lot. So we drive over to the mall and get him out the car, get him inside. He's in the stroller, and of course, he's very anxious to get out of the stroller because he wants to play. And so, but got to like take all the stuff off and get him ready. And so I did all of that. I got him out and I stood him up. And he wanted to, wander around. I'm like, don't go anywhere. But of course, telling a toddler that doesn't mean anything. He goes over to this Caucasian little girl. And so I'm thinking, okay, so he's going to make friends, my friendly son. And so he stares at her and she's staring at him. And, so I'll say hi to the mother and all of that, And so they're just staring at each other. So we're like, say hi. She's telling her daughter to say hi. Her daughter's maybe about the same age, 2 years old. And I said, say hi, Andrew, And so they're just staring at each other. And so my son, he looks at her and all of a sudden he goes, wham! I mean, he slapped her. And oh my God, I had an out-of-body experience. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing, to the mother. And looking back, it probably was not as bad because the little girl, she didn't even flinch. She just kept staring at him and looking at him. So I scooped him up and I was like, playtime is over. We started it and we're getting ready to end it. Like within 5 minutes, I bundled him back up, got him back in that stroller, pushed him back to the car. I was so flustered and so frustrated. Got him back home, took him to my husband, and was like, this is all your fault. You have turned this boy into some kind of boisterous kid that's always into everything, always being this daredevil. That's my husband's fault. He did that to him. So since my son and all his friends are always over here, they wanted to have a barbecue in the backyard. Wasn't anyone's birthday. He just wanted to have some people over. It was the summertime. And so when he first asked, the number was like around 20 people. And then a few days later, he was like, Mom, did you say yes? And then at that time it was about 40 people. And I'm sure that the entire time I was like, no. But he was able to convince his father. My husband was like, okay, but you guys have to take care of everything. And so at that time, the final number was about 50. So 50 of his friends, they're going to be in the backyard, or either we're about to be in the house. And so my husband was able to set up the music so that it only those in the backyard could hear it and wouldn't disturb the neighbors. And they said that they were going to take care of everything. They were well organized. They got the paper plates, the cups, the utensils, the napkins. They had a schedule for who would be doing what, got all the meat, all the sides and everything. Someone was going to be a man in the music, the DJ, and someone was going to be on the barbecue and all of that. So they were very well organized, and I didn't have to do anything. I was studying. I was in school at the time, and I was like, okay, don't irritate the neighbors. So about 30 minutes after the start time, of course, I was not invited. Uh, so I got up and I was in our family room, and so I could, see in the backyard from there. So I checked outside, and I could see that there were maybe about 30 people in the backyard. It looked normal. Okay, all right. So, the music was going and wasn't blasting, wasn't loud. So I was okay. I was okay that the neighbors would be okay. And about another 30 minutes passed by. And I checked again, and there were more people. And I guess that at that time it was maybe around 50 to 60 people. And so I was okay with that. That's what he said. Okay, so I felt confident that things were going well, and I could just solely focus on what I was studying. So about 2 hours after the start time, my daughter comes into the house, and she says, "Who are all those people outside?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. I mean, it's not that many people." She was like, "Mom, I couldn't even get into the driveway. There were so many people." Like, she was like, as soon as I turned into the community, she was like, "I know all those people are at my house because my brother and he had all his friends." And so I was like, "Girl, that's not that many people outside." So anyway, I get up to go and look, and oh my God, I could not believe what I saw. So take a look.
I'm sure I have a few friends. Facebook. Say what? My son lied. He said a few people. I said a few people.
So this wonderful cookout that turned out to be a whole lot more than the 50 people that you said would attend. So let me ask you, what was that like for you? How did you guys go about? What was the occasion? What was happening?
We promoted it on Instagram. Honestly, that's all like really took for us to like get out there.
Mm-hmm.
We just had to promote it, and we promoted for about, I would say, a good month, maybe a month.
Okay.
If that, no, I don't think it's that long. I think it's like a week.
Okay.
It's like a week. But yeah.
Okay, so of course I was shocked when I looked outside after about 2 hours and saw this ocean of millennials in my backyard, and I couldn't believe it that it was just so many people. So what was that experience like for you guys?
I would say for me it was kind of like a normal experience. I'm always going to like big parties and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't know, it was kind of normal to me. It was like a normal cookout.
You expected that many people to come?
Yeah.
You did?
It's about probably.
So
it wasn't more because people be coming out.
Okay, so these kinds of things happen all the time. Well, I think the only thing is that in certain neighborhoods, that many kids, even though you guys weren't violent, there was nothing that was going wrong. I mean, you all were congregating, everybody was peaceful, but our entire neighborhood was swarmed with cars and 18, 19 year olds, and I think it just alarmed the people. So somebody, of course, ended up calling the police. And what happened after that?
They said we could keep going, right? A little bit. They gave us a time. They ended it at 9 or something like that. They said we had until 9.
Yeah.
They let us keep going just because we were chilling.
Yeah.
Just told us to stay out our yard. Because she kept complaining about us being in her yard.
Okay, that was one of the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you guys were all out front. There were people, cars lined up 2 streets over. There were cars all lined up outside. So One of the things that I did say after I got over being a little agitated, because I was like, boy, if you're going to have this many people, you need to be in a rec center. You know, you can't have this kind of stuff in a community where neighbors are concerned. And 50 people at a cookout is good, but when you're talking about over 300,
It wasn't that.
it was too.
It was
And
probably like maybe 200 people.
okay, you guys, I've shown you the video. You tell me, was that 200 people or was it 300?
I don't think it's 300 people. That's a lot of people.
Okay, so but really, when I thought about it, I said, you know, this was really good. I just think that you guys needed to do something that was purposeful. You know, you guys were well organized. You and your friends, you planned it out. You had someone manning the food, that was actually cooking the food, serving the drinks, and I thought that was really good. It was a well orchestrated. I think that we didn't. Maybe you guys could have thought about where all these cars are gonna go, you know, that kind of thing. So, but other than that, it was well done. So now that you've made the decision to own your own business, do you think that that experience has helped you any in now running your own business?
Yeah, I guess so. I would say, yeah, I guess so. I mean, promoting wise, you know, I feel like if you promote your business very well, it could be seen by anybody. So it's really on you.
Well, you know, a lot of people promote events. They don't get that large of a gathering. So you just posted it on Instagram. What did you guys do? You had a flyer or you just typed it
Yeah,
in?
we made a funny flyer. It was all of us on the Avengers heads. So like when the Avengers
Okay.
came out, we put all our heads on their faces and we said our party.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was
All
fun.
right. Okay. So that's good. That's a good promoting technique that others can pick up and, you know, make the flyer fun. You appeal to your audience. All right, to your friends. You knew that they would be open to reading a post that was about the Avengers, especially with their friends' faces on it. So that's good.
Yeah, we had to make sure people didn't think it was a joke because like a lot of my friends do like funny stuff, like skits and funny stuff, or always clowning on social media. So
Okay.
we had to make sure it wasn't like they didn't think it was a joke.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, so you know, now that you own your business, you made the decision that you weren't gonna. You did 2 semesters of college, and then you made the decision that you know that's just not the route for you. You didn't want to do that, and so you decided to do your own business. Do you think that was a good decision? It's now that it's about 2-3 years later. I mean, how do you feel now that you've made that decision?
I feel like it was a great decision for me, honestly, because I mean, for me, I always knew like school wasn't really my thing. Not that I couldn't do school or was too hard for me. It's just like it didn't really catch my attention like I guess the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if anything, I always wanted to go to school for like to appease others, honestly.
Okay.
But I never really saw myself like really caring about school
Okay.
per se. I always liked music. I always knew I just wanted to do something with music and go further with that, honestly.
All right. So tell us about your business. How is that coming along?
It's coming along great. We've been open for almost a year now. We opened up last year, April.
Okay. Tell us what you are.
I'm an engineer / producer / everything.
Okay. So you guys have your own studio.
Yeah.
Did you give it a name yet?
Magic Box Studios, Washington, D.C.
Okay. So how is that going? Are you using the same technique to get clients to come in, or what?
Yeah, we just promote on Instagram, posted a lot through social media. I'm gonna start doing the paid promotions and stuff so it can get out to a lot more people than just my followers per se.
Okay. Are you just using Instagram, or are you using any of the
Mostly
other?
Instagram. We mostly use Instagram. You know, we kind of use Twitter, but not really. Mostly Instagram.
So are you guys planning to have any more only 50 people at a cookout kind of thing. 50 people,
Nah.
really 300 or something.
Nah, I think the pandemic got us moving a little too slow, so I don't
Okay.
think no time soon. Hopefully, maybe at the studio. The
Yeah,
building's big, so hopefully we can start having shows there and pop-up shops and
yeah,
all that good stuff.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing with us your wisdom and your friendliness. I really do appreciate the fact that you are caring and giving, and even though we are your parents, you've taught us some things, about giving to others and being kind, feeding people, just your friends. You realize that they're hungry, and you make sure that they get something to eat. So, all right, we're proud of you, man.